AI will not replace teachers. Teachers who embrace AI will lead the next generation.
All right, let's dive right in. We are about to unpack something that's on the verge of completely changing the way we learn. Artificial intelligence isn't just some tech buzzword anymore. It's getting ready to become a real, fundamental part of our schools. So let's take a look at how this tech is actually stepping into the classroom. So let's just start with the big question right up front. Is your next teacher going to be an AI? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but as we're about to see, that reality is a whole lot closer than you might think. And yeah, when I say closer, I mean it. The AI classroom isn't some concept for the distant future. It's pretty much here, and it's on track to make a major impact. Very, very soon. The sources we're looking at are pretty clear on this. By 2025, this whole transformation will be well on its way. And the key players, the ones really driving this change, are something called AI agents. You can think of them as these powerful engines that are going to optimize everything from your own personal learning style to how an entire school manages its resources. Okay, so that's the big question, right? What in the world are AI agents? Well, probably the easiest way to wrap your head around them is to picture a super personalized digital tutor and a hyper-efficient teaching assistant, all mashed up into one smart piece of software. So let's break down the official definition here. An AI agent isn't just your standard app. It's a program that can actually observe what's going on around it, process all that information, and, this is the crucial part, make its own decisions to hit a specific goal. And in education, that big goal is making the whole experience better for everyone. And this right here is what makes them such a game changer. First, you've got autonomy. They can just work on their own without needing constant supervision. Then there's adaptability. They actually learn and get better based on how they interact with students. And finally, decision-making. They can crunch the data to make really smart, informed choices. Those three things are their superpower. All right, now that we know what these things are, let's get to the exciting part. Let's talk about all the good stuff, the incredible promise, and the potential benefits of bringing this technology into our schools. So, our research points to 4 massive transformations. First up, personalized learning paths. This is where the curriculum actually molds itself to you and your own pace. Second, intelligent tutoring systems, which can give you feedback right when you need it, 24/7. Third, and this is a big one for teachers, automated admin tasks. Think about all the time saved on grading and scheduling. And finally, enhanced student engagement, using things like games to make learning way more fun and interactive. And yeah, this chart breaks it down perfectly. Personalization is at the top, and for good reason. It's all about making sure every single student gets what they need. Then you have efficiency, which, like we said, gives teachers back their most valuable resource, time. And accessibility is absolutely crucial, using AI to help cater to diverse learners and make education more inclusive for everyone. Okay, but let's be real. It's not all sunshine and roses. For every amazing promise, there's a potential problem we need to think about. So now we've got to flip the coin over and look at the very real challenges and risks we have to navigate here. This slide really lays it out, doesn't it? The promise versus the peril. On one side, all that incredible potential we just talked about. But on the other, you've got some serious concerns. Major data privacy risks, the danger of making the digital divide even worse, the problem of built-in bias in the algorithms, and of course, the fact that this stuff is expensive. And let's just zoom in on that first point for a second. This quote we pulled really hits the nail on the head. These AI systems need a ton of student data to work their magic. But collecting and analyzing all that personal information on a massive scale, well, it opens up a Pandora's box of privacy and security issues that we have to solve. And here are those big hurdles laid out visually. Data privacy is clearly the biggest piece of the pie, but look at the others. The digital divide is a huge worry. What about kids who don't have access to the latest tech? Then there's algorithmic bias, the fear that these AI systems could accidentally end up reinforcing stereotypes. And finally, the risk of just becoming too dependent on technology, maybe even weakening our own critical thinking skills. So, the big takeaway here seems to be this. We have to remember that AI is supposed to be a tool. It's here to complement human teachers, not replace them. The goal is to empower educators, to let the AI handle the boring, repetitive stuff so that teachers can focus on what only humans can do. Mentoring, inspiring, and making that real emotional connection. Okay, so with that critical need for balance in mind, let's look ahead. What's on the horizon? What does the next frontier of education actually look like as these AI tools keep getting smarter? And check out this timeline. It shows you just how fast all this is moving. I mean, just a decade ago, we were talking about basic digital tools. Now, in 2025, we're seeing these truly adaptive AI tutors pop up. And looking out to the 2030s, the whole game is going to shift toward predictive and proactive systems, ones that can figure out what a student needs before they even have to ask. A huge piece of this future puzzle, it's all about going hybrid. AI agents are the perfect technology to bridge that gap between learning in a physical classroom and learning online, making sure the experience is consistent and high quality no matter where you are. And this is that proactive shift I was just talking about, the power of prediction. Using all this data, AI can spot students who might be starting to struggle way before a bad grade ever shows up on a test. It's about getting ahead of the problem instead of just reacting to it. You know, one of the coolest parts of all this might be the fact that AI is becoming something everyone can use. With these new no-code platforms, you don't have to be a computer genius to build a custom AI tool. It really empowers teachers to design the exact solutions they need for their own students.
And make no mistake, this isn't just about schools. The ripple effects are going to be huge. Just look at this table. These same AI ideas are being used to close skills gaps for workers, to improve training for doctors and nurses, and even to break down language barriers so people can collaborate across the globe. Education is really just the starting point.
So what's the bottom line? It's this. We are starting a brand new chapter in the story of how we learn. AI agents aren't science fiction anymore. They're here. And while they have this absolutely transformative potential, we have to be smart, ethical, and fair about how we bring them into our world. And that really brings us to the final question, the one we need to keep asking. As this incredible technology weaves itself into our schools, how do we make sure we protect the one thing it can't replace, what makes learning and us truly human?
AI will not replace teachers, but teachers who use AI will replace those who don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really quite direct.
It is. It's about adapting, not necessarily mastering the tech itself. It's an urgent call, really.